Welcome to Focus of the Week for the third week of July 2019 for air signs. And this is a general reading, and I've also set the intention that this reading be timeless. So if you're seeing this reading sometime in the future, if you're drawn to it, then it's still going to be relevant for you. And like I said, keep in mind that it's a general reading, so take what pertains to you and leave the rest. Those messages may be for somebody else. And I'm also an intuitive reader, so I don't always go by exactly what the traditional meanings of the cards are. And if you're new to Focus of the Week, I will be drawing 5 cards for the 5 different aspects of your life. And then if I see something that I feel is going to need your attention next week, we'll pull that aside and get some clarifying cards laid out and see if this will help you out for next week. So this is for air signs. What do the air signs need to focus on next week? Air signs. What do air signs need to focus on? Okay. The center card here is yourself. Alright, and this bottom card is finances. Then we have the home. And then we have education. If you can't see that, that's the Wheel of Fortune. Then we have relationships. Okay, and give me just a moment here to take a look. Okay. So we have the Devil card here, so right away I'm feeling like air signs, you're going to need to be focusing on yourself. Your finances are going to look good. Your home. That looks good. Your education and your relationships, that all looks good. So I'm going to pull this, what I consider the self card. Now this could be anything. This could be medical. If it is, you probably already know what that is. It could be something simple as self-care, just taking time out. So what do the air signs need to know next week about focusing on themselves? What do they need to know about focusing on themselves next week? Okay. 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 Now I'm going to take a few minutes to read these. Okay, I'm feeling like I'm hearing isolation and lonely. So I feel like right now you're feeling some level of sadness or depression about feeling isolated. You're feeling left outside of the circle. You're feeling like you're on the outside sort of looking in. And I feel like this is going to be weighing on your mind next week. And this is really upsetting for you, and you know, you may not have been saying anything about it, but because I just feel like she's like looking at the owl, and this figure here is curled up, and I feel as though you're just sort of feeling as though people have forgotten you, and whether that's at work or if it's your home life or your friends. Keep in mind that your relationship card was good, though. It was a good card, and these are just I feel like these are just projections from your own insecurities. I don't feel like that these are actually this is an actual situation that's really going on. I feel like these are your own self-doubts and your own insecurities. And remember that if people are maybe not giving you that attention, or you're feeling left out for whatever reason, they may have something going on in their life that they're having to focus on, and it's just they're not able to give you that attention because they need to deal with themselves. Everybody's got something going on with their life, and air signs, I want you to keep in mind that that I don't feel that whatever you think is going on is really the situation. I think these are just your own self-doubts creeping in. And no matter what, even if that were the case, and I don't think it is, you will always be loved from whatever you consider source. This Knight of Swords here, it often represents the Archangel Michael, and that lets me know that, you know, you are being loved, you're being looked after, and I feel like these are all thoughts that are going on in your head. This is not something that that you need to be stressing about, and you need to be telling yourself, because this devil, you know, is the, you know, temptation card. You're sort of being lured into those negative thoughts. You're being lured into that depression, and I don't want you next week to fall into that. And so when you start feeling those things, just remember that it's an illusion. You know, this is an illusion card. You can break free of that, and just keep in mind that, you know, other people have things going on. Maybe reach out to them and say, hey, is everything okay with you guys? You know, I haven't heard from you in a while, or we haven't been able to get together in a while. Is everything all right? And I think you'll find that a lot of them may have some things going on, and even if they say they're fine, you'll probably know they've got something going on, and I can't be the focus right now. So don't fall into this temptation or this illusion of isolation and loneliness, and I'm being left out, I'm being left behind, you know, I'm watching everybody else's life go on and they're not asking me to join in. Really focus on that next week, because I think that's going to be weighing on you. I'm going to pull from the Spirit Animal Oracle here. We got a couple of cards that fell out. We'll see if those pop back up. Sometimes life stings, yeah. And that's what you're feeling right now. You're feeling like you're feeling stung by those emotions. And keep in mind that, like I said, I think these are all manifestations of your mind, and that even if that were the case, it just happens sometimes. That's the way life is, and it's just a moment, and it will pass. And don't dwell on it, because your relationships are actually really good. It may not seem like it right now. If somebody's being snippy with you or being short with you, they've probably got something going on in their mind, and they're in a bad frame of mind right now, and it isn't actually you or how they feel about you. So try not to dwell on this and feeling that so strongly, because this is what I feel like you're really feeling, and it's luring you into this feeling of isolation. Just remember, you are always being watched after, you are always being loved, and your relationships are actually in a really good place. So just wait on those moments, let them pass, because they will. And I think you'll start to feel better if you don't, like, if you notice next week you're falling into this, just remember this reading, and remember to just, you know, wait it out and let it pass, and you'll be fine, because your relationships are actually really fine, and you're being loved. So just keep that in mind, and I hope this reading was relevant for you. And if it turns out to be, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear how it turned out for you next week. And I hope you guys have a really great week. Really take care of yourself and stay positive, okay? All right, goodbye, air signs.